they pass by.
I mean, shaking.
Was it worth it?
So real.
100% worth it. Americans, British, everybody in the crowd. Canadian, that's all right, I forgive you. They've just passed by us, Gail. They're on their way now. They will make that last turn as they head into the long walk and make that procession all the way back to Windsor Castle. That is where the big party has been all day, and I can guarantee that's where the party will continue after this procession ends.
Charlie D'Agata, talk about painting a picture.
Yes.
Charlie D'Agata, thank you so much. I love the, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. We are absolutely hearing that as well. You know, British police are warning spectators not to throw confetti. They say it's a potential security risk and quite frankly a pain to clean up. But Penny, to your point about the jostling up and down, I see it with the horsemen. I don't see that with the carriage, but I just think this whole scene is so beautiful and majestic.
This is perhaps one of the most beautiful pieces of English pageantry we've seen in decades. I mean, it is the intimacy of it that's so wonderful, and the colour and the household cavalry is so gallant. There's a gallantry to it, and
yes. This is what you call pageantry.
Yeah, and that King's Road is beautiful because there are homes on there. You could see people walking out of their homes and sitting in windows and watching them go by a residential neighborhood, which is kind of amazing to see something this big go through a residential neighborhood.
All right, we're at the long walk, and Roxana Saberi is there. Roxana.
Guys, they are coming up Albert Road right now. The crowd is poised to take their photos. You can see lots of kids on their parents' shoulders ready to catch a glimpse of the new husband and wife. This is the moment people have been waiting for, some for 10, 11 hours out here, hoping to wave to the new couple. We were talking to a number of people earlier today. They were very happy to be here. They said they felt like watching the ceremony, that this couple was truly in love. It was beautiful, they said. Some of them were wiping away tears, and here they come. First members of the household cavalry. I don't see the carriage quite yet, but the carriage is, here it is. It's passing right by us, and they're going to turn up the long walk, go 1 mile up, back to Windsor Castle, past thousands of crowds for people all over the world, many of them who watched the ceremony on big screens up and down the long walk, who were drinking beer, coffee, food, camped out all day long for this moment. To be a part of this day, we talked to a lot of people who felt like they felt very fortunate and felt like they were part of a unifying event on this important day. Gail?
All right, Roxana, it really is a unified event on this important day. You know, we live in a chaotic world. It seems very chaotic. It seems very cruel, many times very unkind. And this is certainly a very unifying moment for everyone. I love seeing the American flags and the British flags and the Canadian flags all waving together to salute these two.
Well, you know that her veil has embroidered onto it the 53 flowers of the Commonwealth.
Yes.
And you can only see that when the light shot through it, as you can see the flowers on the veil.
That shot is so stunning, and you couldn't have scripted it better.
No,
if you wanted to script the perfect fairy tale ending and moment, this is it.
I mean, there's no doubt about it that the royal family know how to deliver pictures in a way that no one else can. I mean, this is absolutely unique.
And we always hear about you know, we've been hearing the weather wasn't going to cooperate, that it was going to be cold, and maybe it would be cloudy. You know, good weather always adds something to any great event, and it really is a picture-perfect day all the way around.
Absolutely, and you get that in the sparkle in the uniforms. You can see them all
shot of the long
sparkling.
walk, yes.
And you get the full kind of dimensions and breadth of what it means to come down that long walk, and then at the top of it, this beautiful castle, Windsor Castle.
It's 2.6 miles, so they will go down the long walk, and then after that, they will go back to the chapel, where the photographer, Alexei Lewandowski, who was already in the service too, he was invited, has already run back and he's setting up. He knows exactly what he wants. He's got 25 minutes to shoot 6 different pictures, and he told me that he's going to start want to marry Harry. No, you won't. back. No, you won't.
It's over now.
I did see a rueful look on the face of Chelsea Davy in the congregation. He must have been thinking this could have been my day, you know.
So after the procession and after that photo, then they will go to the first of 2 receptions. This one hosted by the Queen at St. George's Hall on the Windsor grounds. And then, of course, the second one, more private and intimate, 200 guests, Prince Charles's place, Frogmore House.
Yes, named Frogmore House because it's surrounded by a lot of swampy frogs, I'm told. But let's start with the 600. You know, it's a stand-up reception. It is not seated for the 600 guests. They said that they were served savory canapes, and that there will be things that you can eat standing up. So it really is more of a mingling type of thing.
It is.
Tina, I was surprised to learn with 600 people, it's not a seated affair.
No, it never is, actually. I think they did it once for Diana. There was a lunch, but mostly it's always a stand-up buffet. That is the kind of English tradition. After a wedding like that, there's a buffet lunch where you have stand-up things.
Can we just talk a minute about how beautiful Meghan Markle looks today?
Utterly ravishing.
Talk about radiant bride, and Harry too.
Flawless.
Radiant groom.
And she's really, the dress is very elegant, understated. It's not, you know, a riot of frou-frou. It is really, you know, a dress that is about understatement and sophistication. Absolutely right for her moment right now.
And to think it all began, Penny, with a blind date.
Yeah.
And now she ends up here. The best blind date to ever happen.
Yes.
And now here she is, now the Duchess of Sussex.
Yes, do you know, I think it almost had to be a blind date for it to work.
Why?
Because Meghan didn't know that she was meeting a prince. I mean, and because she's American, she doesn't really, I don't think she's that turned on by the, you know,
she was meeting Harry and that he was a prince.
In our royal family.
She did know that. Maybe she didn't really care about the history of the monarchy, but she certainly knew she was meeting a prince. But I don't think that's what attracted her to him, though, to your point. I think that, you know, they both have very similar stories in their life.
I also do think it was very much about timing. You know,
timing.
Harry really wanted to settle down at the point. He was the last of his group to get married. All his friends had got married. His brother was married. He was sick of being the spare wheel. You know, he wanted to settle down. And she had just broken up with a boyfriend, and the two of them, it was exactly the right moment.
But he had also been through therapy, and I think that is actually key to it as well.
Very good
I think he was so troubled before this, and therefore his relationship, it impacted on his relationships.
Can we talk about the dress, because we now have more details about the dress? Are you familiar with this designer, Tina? Claire Waite Keller?
No, well, we know that she's extremely, highly regarded because she's the first sort of British designer for Givenchy.
Yeah, she's the first female artistic director.
She's the first female artistic director. The flowers, I mean, on the veils, I mentioned, you know, these 53 flowers of the Commonwealth, I think are a beautiful touch and very important to Meghan because they really want to be associated with the Commonwealth.
They said that she chose to work with her for her timeless and elegant aesthetic, impeccable tailoring, and relaxed demeanor.
Yeah, I think she did. You know, people thought it might have been Ralph and Rousseau, but that's much more of a red carpet designer. This one is way more understated, much more elegant. And she
lines of the dress, 6 meticulously placed seams. The focus of the dress is that open bateau neckline,
that boat neck, which allows her to show some skin without being
shoulders and
immodest.
Yes, emphasizes a slender sculpted waist. Well, she has a beautiful figure. She could wear anything, actually.
Yes, she could.
3/4 length sleeves.
And we see as they're starting to finish this the long walk, the ride back into the castle now, and this moment that she will never forget. And where folks, you know, last night there were people already lined up, but not this many, and a lot of people flooded Windsor to come and be a part of their moment.
You know, I didn't spend the night on the streets, but I know some of the people that did, and they said it didn't matter what the temperatures were going to be like. They wanted to see this moment, and I have to say, this moment really delivered.
Look at her right there.
Totally.
Did you see that was a real moment?
Yes.
He grabbed her, so just to say, oh my God. That was the kind of moment that you wait for, to see her reacting and kind of taking in.
But you saw that as well with her mother. You saw that with her mother Doria too, that she was simply in wonder of the whole ceremony.
you couldn't possibly, if you're Meghan, have expected something like this. And, you know, we're not lip readers, but somebody said that it looked like Harry said to her when she was standing there, "You look like a princess." Yes. Maybe somebody could look that up and see if that was in fact what he said. But when they were standing there, just the two of them, it looks like, according to people who say they can read lips, that Harry said, "You look like a princess."
And
it was a very special moment.
We mustn't forget that this is part of Harry's world. He's done other royal weddings. He knows what the pageantry is. He's been to Knights of the Garter ceremony, all of these things. This is a first for Meghan. I mean, whatever she thought she'd planned, she had no idea, I think, it was going to feel like this.
But, you know, Tina, even yourself as somebody who's been to 5 different royal weddings, I would think that it has to be very different. Uh-oh. There was something in the crowd behind us. I would think that it has to feel very different when it's your wedding, and the people are waving flags and they're cheering for you. He has such goodwill in this country.
No,
and in the States as well. People in the States are wild about Harry.
They are. He's the most popular after the Queen, and he may even exceed the Queen after this. And I think she will be too. I mean, they obviously share this desire to do their humanitarian work, to travel overseas. They have a lot of bonds, I think. They have genuine things they want to do together.
Penny, we see them coming to the end of this carriage ride, and we know that they have another event on Tuesday, but really after this, things become much more private for them, that they can begin to enjoy their wedding in a sense.
Kevin, look at that shot. Penny, look at that shot before you speak. Look at that.
Wow.
It's just incredible. All
right, Pennies. Go ahead, sorry. I didn't want us to lose that.
Yes, up to a point they can now settle down and all the, you know, the razzmatazz is over. But I think what Meghan will discover is that being a member of the royal family means that actually privacy is at a premium.
Is that a premium or it seems scarce? Yeah,
I mean,
it seems very scarce.
It is scarce.
Which is what you mean by premium, yes.
You know what I did feel when Dora was watching them go down the aisle? I think in a way, you know, she's given up her daughter. It's a bit like watching your daughter take the veil. I mean, she has given her daughter now to royalty, to monarchy.
Yes.
Because, you know, however close she is to her, she no longer, you know, this is now her world, and she has been swallowed up into it. And it must be very, in a way, poignant, I think, for Doria.
Well, in many ways, it has to be poignant for Doria because, you know, I'm sure she'll stay here for a while, but then she goes back to Los Angeles, you know, off to the neighborhood where she lives, you know, which is a very